In this video, I played the entirety of What Remains of Edith Finch. This is like an incredibly sad game, fellas. I don't really know how else to put it, man. It takes it out of anybody who plays it. This is a long video, and I want to experiment with more of these, just doing long plays of games in one sitting. And if you want to catch the entirety of these things at one point or another, I stream these live at twitch.tv/Kwote, where I'll actually be live tonight. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to another one like it. And did you know only 20% of y'all are subscribed with notifications on? If you ever hit the bell icon, you'll never miss an upload, and you can always undo it later. Damn, I can't walk. Oh, it's because I'm sitting down. That makes sense. Look down. Oh, it did it for me. Damn, I broke my goddamn hand.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house. Lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
That's some Call of Duty motion tracking in the montage intros. Phase Vizu presents introducing Phase Vizu.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
I'm good. I don't need that shit. I'm a child. I don't pay bills.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Guys, no spoilers and no backseating. That is law. Bro, the way it just kind of flops pathetically to the floor. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's like a cool touch.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Oh, that's helpful. I found it.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Okay, so we going to the Firewatch-looking tower over there, or not there? You thought the key was a gun? Yeah, this is an FPS. We've already got 2 letters in the name. First and person. Now we just need the shooter to make it a Drake song.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Yeah, of course my VTuber's lagging. Tale as old as time.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Well, here I am.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
That shit looks crazy and like a fire hazard.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of
cash money. Oh, that's not what she said. I kind of want to go around the back. Let's check some stuff out. Doggy door. Oh, I'm a dog?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I could see why. Tight squeeze.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Remarkably undilapidated, though. Like, these bike tires look full.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Damn, they left so much alcohol out, dude. The last night here must have been fucking wild. More wine, goddamn!
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I don't think it really did that, personally.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Well, that's cool. Box? Nothing. Book? Nothing. Birdie! I love birds. Okay. Wait, no, it's...
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Dude, why is it Bigfoot? Why is it Bigfoot in the tree line? What's his ass doing here? Is he a family member too? Barbara Finch. Happy family life. Little insectarium. I think that's what you call it.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
I'll find that key. What the hell? Oh, is that wood glue just jammed into the door?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Like ashes or full corpse? Or in like a metaphorical sense?
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Can I like check out what's outside or?
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Where's all that spooky ass ambience coming from? Knock it off. You're supposed to make me sad, not waking my boots. It's unethical. Oh, he need assisted stair climber.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Okay. I mean, trauma's trauma, man,
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
How, like, she saw her kid having fun, and she's like, everybody's gonna feel like shit just like I do.
Passages, but I never believed him.
The key work? The beat go off? Oh. You do.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Oh shit. Dude, I've always wanted to do that, like cut a hole, like some shit in a book that like lets you
Now
open
it was time
to
to
secret
find out
areas.
what my mom had been afraid of.
Alright, in we go. Goodbye, Anthony.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Oh, she was keeping him here. Oh, I'm on my...
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Thank you for saving video game.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
How? We're barely tall enough to reach it now.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
That's a really poignant analogy. I love metaphors. No analogy, because they use the word like. Molly Finch, time to be invasive.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
My hamster.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. My Halloween candy was all gone.
Bro, the sun is probably gonna set before I finish this game. It's gonna be so sad.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Sorry. Speaking of weird things to eat, did any of y'all eat your goldfish? Is that a syringe? Toilet.
I kept eating and eating.
Is this toothpaste? Oh, this shit is poisonous, isn't it?
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window.
What's up, gang?
It was a barn swallow
that-
going back to her nest.
Can I help a fella out,
reached
bring
out
some of
for
them
her,
eggs over?
And suddenly,
Oh!
it
What?
was a cat.
No, canonically, cats would be able to swivel 360 even on some shit like this.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
I'm a cat, it can't be that big of an issue that I'm just pouncing around, right? Smoke's gonna hear that and freak.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
My chip, like, clinical? This guy gotta be disgusting. That's what I've been saying. Who even strung the lights up here, man? I'm like so
I
used to...
jumped and I almost got her.
It apparently started tweaking.
Now I was up in the big tree. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Damn! Hops. This cat should be in the league, bro.
I gobbled her up,
Oh, shit!
and suddenly, I was an owl.
Oh, that's
First,
convenient.
all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
What counts as grass here? Found it. Come here!
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
So, this is surprisingly
Swallowed him
violent.
up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Second stomach havers supreme. Yeah, that's right, I got a gizzard, bitch. I don't need to chew nothing.
A mama rabbit.
Come here.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Huh? Bro! Bro, that visual is incredible. Bro, this might be the best game ever made. I'm just getting the hang of this. Gotta keep moving.
I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Come here.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Is that a seal? Ah, that's not a seal. There's one. I think. Bro, you slow. Oh shit, bro, this is like flying a jet in Battlefield. I'm so used to reverse controls.
Pour off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Shark smells the blood in the water.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Bruh, oh, this is actually really impressive. Like the amount of shit you can crawl over. This is how octopuses actually move.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh. Well, you know, work your way up the food chain. Should probably slither under something, right? You don't want to get caught. I think I took a wrong turn. So slimy. Oh my god. What's
I
up?
was big, but I moved real quiet.
Hey, what's up, guy? We just having fun. We just having fun. That's all. He's alright. What's downstairs? I want to know. Nothing, I guess. Traversal here is so interesting. I don't know how to explain it. That's not the song on the radio, dummy. Can you get charged for drunk driving? Very unaware. Sloppy work. Ragdolled him. What's up, guy?
The last passenger. I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have. So I swam towards it.
Is there like a kleptomaniac, but for just cannibalism?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Hungry caterpillar looking ass. Oh damn, this ain't sanitary, but I don't think anything about what we're doing is.
I got closer and closer.
Oh, it's my bedroom.
All my stomach started growling.
Electricity.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I mean, at least you have self-confidence. It's a shame they did not have effective therapy in 1947.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Kitty? I heard a meow. Hey, what's up, guy?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. So, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Rip bird, rip bird, rip bird, rip grandma. I'm sure she was a bird too.
We got along and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
That's creative.
Her room was like a museum.
I have that same pill organizer. Am I gonna die?
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Yeah, because that's way cooler. Her grandma was spitting.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Your mom seems like a buzzkill, I'm not gonna lie. Where have I seen that duck before?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Oh, you brought the house with you? The curse isn't going anywhere!
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Damn.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
We were just eating shit out here. Mysteries of Death and Thereafter. He must really liked his own book.
Great-grandma had always been the family's biggest fan. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
That's sweet. I saw Sven door over here with a fucking duck on it. Guess I can't use that yet.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Damn, I like those glasses. I don't know why I love full circle glasses. It's this shit I have.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, thanks. That helps. I think I found the secret.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
The first ever selfie. Did this act as like a darkroom for photo negatives or something? That'd be cool. That chair has comedic timing. Smoke 'em Joes. Newport Biden picture insert here.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
I'm gonna look around a little bit before I bail out.
And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
This feels like a house they'd make on like extreme makeovers in the 2000s. Here a kid has an interest in make like a bedroom they'll have to live in for the rest of their life off of it.
My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Dude, I remember the first time I learned to ride a swing. I was struggling so much with it. The motions just didn't come natural. I was so excited when I first managed to figure out how to swing my legs behind me.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I'm about to jump off this shit. I also did this too. I pressed space to jump on instinct, man. Watch this shit, bro. Catch me on this shit. Watch this flip.
Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Damn! We're about to do it!
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Fuck, I tried to do the exact same thing. I knew a kid who actually managed it on the playground. I think the most I ever did was I managed to like jump off the swing and then like do the flip before I landed. I did that like when I was a teenager. I know how to do a backflip now standing. Certainly I can do it off the swing. I could.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
She just, imagine like being the twin brother, knowing he's dead and your mom making you look at his side of the room stay the same forever, just reminded all the time before you go to bed. Also, that's the Black Ops 2 menu font. Oh wait, right, it's glued shut.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
No, I could really understand why. Like, look at the shit you made him stare at for his whole life. This family's so extra. I like her sweater. Guys, time to walk on the insulation wall cotton candy.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd
Panic.
obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I thought that said panic pantry. But the parents were going here to drink all the fucking time, apparently. Bro, this is literally Dark Souls. You can open up shortcuts.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years until America grew out of it.
Oh, it was a wine cabinet, so I guess that checks out. I'm gonna check upstairs real quick.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Dick.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Oh, that's why the Bigfoot was in the background, because she starred in a movie called Bigfoot. Famous Nicki Minaj diss track. Infamous because it was trash. I already peeped these holes. Back into the thick of it. I reckon we're probably gonna find out about Barbara next.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Bigfoot seems like a nice guy. He's giving her a flower. That's so sweet.
Never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Yeah, the curse of a lot of child stars, man. Thank God Tommy in it turned out okay. He's funny. I like that. I like video. Barb Street. Talk about Nicki Minaj references, bro. Bigfoot. Barb.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
The surprise ending? Thanks.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family.
You're kind of fine.
Surprise ending of Barbara Finch.
Ah, don't tell. Like, what was that, like, one famous, like, celebrity murder attempt?
Star. Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been.
Bro, she's a teenager. Let her go to high school, man.
Just to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
Oh shit.
That came from the basement.
Why is your basement door locked?
There's a key.
Oh, Home Alone coded.
The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Is this legal, the use of this?
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
This format is so fucking fire. Agreed. Oh, dude, it's a fuck- Bro, it's dead. Guys, we're gonna get a gun. Eventually, we have to. It added melee combat with physics. Damn, I'm tearing this shit up, man! Not a single thing is staying on a shelf. Who knows when I'll have melee combat again? Okay, fine, we'll go to the door.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh, damn, can't tear that shit up. That's the hacksaw homie fell on top of. Damn!
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
Go fit.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Imagine if, like, I whacked my little brother, too. And, like, actually whacked him, like, dead. Damn, invisible wall.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Anthony Shark.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Damn, got his ass.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Oh, it's probably family, isn't it? That's probably someone we know, isn't it? Oh, shit.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Damn, he should not be able to walk. What are we looking at?
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Damn.
I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans.
Christ.
Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Ew.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Boo! There's no way we licensed that story legally.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic was, maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Damn, gone too soon. Is that an Emmy? Holy shit! Yeah, no, she had some she had bangers apparently. Well, I guess we could go into the basement now.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Well, is that possible to wind all the way, like at the start of the game? Actually, I'm not gonna check chat. Don't tell me. That'd be crazy if it was. Bring it around town. And it worked. We're screwed. Ah, so they cleaned up down here after I was done knocking everything down, huh?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yeah, you know, she probably had a point. Look at all this shit.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Oh my
Turned out
god.
she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh, well what a convenient little doomsday bunker. Did I turn the brightness up?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
It's tragedy.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
None of us got very far. Yeah, that bodes well for us. This is not Disney World! The electricity's been working down here the whole time. Homemade weaponry, very cool. Man, a facsimile, huh?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
Probably cut his lip on that thing like a billion times in his life.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal, almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
It's probably his mom.
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
30 years of Pete's only
It's
diet,
been
bro.
a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting.
It's how Mario trying to live. Oh, 2005. I'd completely missed the calendar. It goes deeper? Oh, I should have checked the door. Tomato, bookshelf. We had more food down here. Step 8, Reznov, freedom.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Where I go to take a shit, or is this just a trash pile? Ugh, it's gonna stink in here. Well, time to do some John Wick stuff.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Oh! Well...
Can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Bro,
I'm sure my mom
got
was trying
washed.
to...
Let's see if the old thing still opens.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
Ugh. Sorry, my ears hurt.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
This fucking stank pile, apparently.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive.
Let's make a really good decision. Let's also hope the line's been discontinued here, yeah?
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
This is like making the cross the symbol of Jesus. Like, yeah, I want to see the thing that killed me every day for the rest of my life. Well, you know, that makes me feel a little better, I'm not gonna lie. No trains coming down these tracks.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Is that a train? Oh, it's a totem.
But I thought you should know about your family and the history you're a part of.
It looks like an underwater silo or platform.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Very distant lights out there, man, that's crazy. Is that the original wreck? I'm just checking every crevice, okay? Maybe there's a secret firearm, or not. Bro's feeling sonder.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Bro, they legit just left the swing in the position the kid died in. Oh my god. They really did not give a fuck, dude.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
One with a body to dispose of? I don't know. Like a little dirt hut to spend the night.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine. 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Damn, she made it to 93. Good for her, good for her. Calvin didn't last long. Molly did not last long. Oh, and the Chimera as her symbol. Oh, man. Oh. Bro. Dude. The peering man. Just a little hole he saw through the light.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. You could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Suppose I can too.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
I'm still curious what that platform is. Imagine if, like, my story's lame and I just die in a really anticlimactic way.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand, but the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Yeah, this bitch crazy!
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Shit, man.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay Kumar. It's the only non-Finch name I've seen in here, right?
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along, for me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
You just set up a little narrative experience to sell on Steam for $20. Your mom was a businesswoman, I'll give her that.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Huh? That's who she's been talking to, huh? There's stairs or some shit, man, please. I'm tired.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Is that the same cat from before? Because if so, it died and got taxidermied in like a split second. Bro is almost out of here, too. Hey, it's him taking that selfie on a newer camera.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
And all the formats, how they tell this stuff is so interesting. Like, there's a unique aesthetic, like, to, like, how the mind of each person, like, frames their memories.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. Camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
We should not have drunk all that coffee.
I just like taking a look at them.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you done?
Hey!
That's a...
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
Fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. That was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
Seeing the camera with the gunshot, oh.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
One time we see him there, head on, he's gone.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
You know, I know the death of a baby, a child, or a death at any age, but especially young, is tragic. Why did they paint him with a gaping maw, like just ready to consume the earth whole? You got a rock climbing wall?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
And the only way up there is on a rock climbing wall. That's crazy.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Probably read the eulogy at least. Putting that at the memorial
Dear
is
Kay,
depressing.
Do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy. I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night. I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Fuck. I'm sorry for not talking during that one, guys. That one hit a little close to home. Completely avoidable death number 23. Shit, man. That's a tragedy. Duties. Greg. Be a baby. I would personally have added stairs or a ladder. Like something, really. Oh, she was bisexual.
It's like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back and to see kids in the house again.
Just some little guys. Gus. Greg? Whoever Gus is I missed? Okay, yeah, somebody said I missed Greg, and I'm like, we just watched the baby die. What do you mean?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. But though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I'm trying to be an objection here. Oh, there it is.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Damn, one-handed, one-handed, one-handed.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Damn, this kite is like gnarly. I've never flown a kite this good.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh, that's like the storm tore up the fucking wedding.
Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
I'm kind of just mesmerized, I'm not gonna lie.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh, and the wind's picking up like in the book. I think I saw it. My question is, okay, I thought there was like rock wall on the roof too, and I was like, was she hanging by her fingertips or some shit on that?
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
I don't know that this was the correct direction to build in though. Yeah, this thing could have gone outward a little more, I think.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Great job.
But it didn't last.
Yep, should have known better. Well, this is where I learned, apparently. Family history, fact or fiction. Probably the most competent-looking homeschool setup I've ever seen.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Okay, that's on her. That's on her, man.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
All right, open up.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
That's sweet, actually. And Lil Bro was very, like, damn. Bro was designing Call of Duty 3-lane map. This shit was in COD 4, man. Okay, yeah, I can definitely see how a kid died out here. I'm just gonna keep it 100. But he did have a vision, didn't he? Suppose in some way it came true.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Wait, I paused it. Oops. Wait, sorry, I fucked that. Dude, That's meta. Guy is crazy. The implication. Huh. Dude, I'm starting to think some of this shit actually happened.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
I'm starting to think all the shit actually happened. I'm just saying. He walked into a world of his own making and he never came back. Huh.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
This is such, like, a terrible place to have your kid's bedroom, though. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, this was the wrong direction to build the house. There's a room over there. Like, the swing doesn't have to stay up. I'm just saying, man. No spoilers, guys. Fucking keep even the implications out your mouth. Oh, he had a hookah.
Louis's room smelled very familiar.
I wonder what that scent would be. Damn, he still had some shit here. This is an original, like, 360 era gamer, that's for sure. I had friends, older brothers, whose rooms looked exactly like this, just without the view. With a view like this, I don't see why they'd ever leave. And, you know, maybe blackout curtains.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh shit, bro, I gotta multitask.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Oh, the sink there, too.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself, but he found something more.
Diablo. Many wives ruined. Many such cases.
Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss, but he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused, like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Dude.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, fuck. Bro was psychoactive as hell.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Dude. Gamify. Bro, this would have helped in the fast food lines, I won't lie.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
It almost reminds me of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'd escape into that world and the fantasy of it, like, a lot growing up, man.
And songs for them to play.
They knew this one was gonna hit some core gamers. Pretty close, huh?
He talked about starting a band, and he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Bro should have been at the club, man.
He no longer spoke at the cannery, but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowd, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Omni-Man be like...
He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Started playing Civ, bro. That's so creative how, like, the medium or the genre of game just changed as, like, he falls deeper into the delusion? Question mark? Might be real. And he was surprisingly communicative with his therapist.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
I think that one's a real place.
He started drifting away from our reality.
What if our reality is just a dream in a being's mind?
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery, even as his mother pleaded with him. Part of Louis kept sailing on.
Shut up, Mom, I'm gaming!
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince.
What did y'all, which direction do y'all think I was really gonna go?
The prince was on his own quest for...
fucking a happy ending. Ain't that the hope?
Radiant rainbows.
I missed one.
He followed the sound of his silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. knew the world was all in his imagination.
It became third-person action.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Legit, like the perspective changing across like genres of
Someone who'd
game.
never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
It's like mirrors the history of games evolving.
That the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh, that's a fucking kind of a heartbreaking transition. No going back either.
I began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him, even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
He's got a thing for character design, I'll give him that. Like, pretty good job here, man. 3D modeling's on point.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Where is the king?
Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
The cannery and the guillotine, the symbolism. Jesus.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I should have just played Zenless. If you got into a gacha game, you know, you'd like be in the endless monotony, but...
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Did
but I
Edie,
understand
how
why
did
we
Edie
left.
live up here? This could not have been good on her legs. Oh wait, no, this was like the kitchen.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
The rosary too.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Did I miss anything? Did I miss any, like, crucial stories? Check the book. I don't know how to. Somebody said keep going, so I'm gonna keep going.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Convenient.
God, it smelled awful.
I mean, shout out tectonic plates, let me relive my old trauma.
I've seen that house every day of my life, but I never thought I'd go back to it.
I'm strong-nosed.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Maybe you, Grandma, I'm different, though.
I got turned around.
It wouldn't happen to me.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Well, only one way to
Things
find out.
I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
Oh, that visual fucking breaks my heart. I
My
don't know
mom
why.
didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Good
I
lord.
just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
Baby Pav number 2.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Damn, dude. You know, I had been tearing up until like that last pull away. Fuck. It really wasn't like hidden until like that last pull away, man. I don't know what it was. Kwote, are you good? I mean, as good as you can be after a game like that. It's not first time we done it on stream, is it? Heartstring tugger like you don't find very often. Yeah, that one might like be the hardest one we've done on stream. It's just really poignant to have like all the credits be. See Johan's name in the credits. Wait, dude. Johan's name was Unlockable's programmer, and you get an achievement for saying his name in the credits. That's so funny. That's like a brief fucking thing of levity, but it's really poignant to like have it like be pictures of the kids, of like all the developers as kids. Obviously, like not the best game you'll ever play as far as like mechanics and shit go, but it's like a story that could only ever be told in this medium. God, is it a good fucking story, right? Oh, she's got a gun. She's got a gun. Guys, I didn't cry. I'm on my alpha grind. Happy for you, man. I'm weaker than you. Shit, I see why a lot of people like tout that as like the saddest game. All right, I gotta stop that music from playing before my guts come out. Let's put the Pokemon relaxing music back on, I think, guys. Yeah, he needs his G-subs. I'm drinking caffeine free right now. Now I can pretend nothing tragic just happened. This is perfect. What happened to the baby? Accidentally paused. Out of context, it sounds hilarious. He swam into the drain and died. Oh my god. Laughing the whole way through the game after each death. There were like some absurd sections, but like I was just kind of letting myself get immersed in shit. But yeah, baby swam in the drain. Dead. Truly tragic. I mean, every death is like kind of ambiguous except for like the moms, Dawn Finch, where like they die in a supernatural, like the imagery of how they die is either very metaphorical and from their perspective, or there's like really just like some supernatural shit going on with this family. And it's kind of left up to interpretation. Like these could be metaphors for the very natural or like grounded causes of death, but like the way I took it was like Lewis was depressed and just one day decided to walk off the edge of the cannery. Or I think like the one you like for the what was the first kid, Molly, the one who like turned into the different animals and shit. You could take that as she literally got eaten by a chimera that she turned into. She, because she didn't get fed that night, ate a bunch of random stuff and like poisoned herself or starved to death. Like there's a lot, it's all up to interpretation, I'm sure. Like that's how it meant. Like, but we saw her literally eat like those Christmas berries. I'm pretty sure those are poisonous. She became the chimera and led it to herself to, or that her stomach failed on her. That Lewis one probably hit the closest to home, like just the ones that I struck a chord with me. Because I remember receding into games in the throes of depression or like the monotony of life. It's still a reprieve from that. It's just not the only one I have now. It's like a more balanced thing I do. Walter's kind of hurts because sure, it took him 30 years of hiding away, but like he found the courage to hope for something better and pursue it. And then he got half a new day, I suppose, done as soon as he was done as soon as he like walked out. And the thing that scared him, like he thought was the monster who killed his sister, was like the train. And then he faced his fear and then it got him. It just wasn't what got his sister. Grandma Eddie monetized off the mole man under her house. Oh my God, I just realized you're right. Plus, who fucking brainlighted that comic book about Barbara's death? Like they used her exact likeness. Certainly they had to like talk to the family. That grandma was sounds like a bit of an opportunist. I'm just saying. I appreciate them in like a macro sense as like narrative devices. I'm pulling out some big ass words that I'm probably using wrong. But I like them as metaphors for the circumstances of each of their lives and why and how that played into their final moments type deal. I think the cannery boy stuck his head into the chopper. He was so into his game and that the metaphor was cutting off his head. Yeah, I think like there's two ways I could read that. It's like he realized everything was in his head and like that depressed him in some way, so he decided to walk off the edge of like the conveyor belt. Or, and I think this one's more likely because he seemed proud of even though it was all in his head, he was still proud of it. So he would rather continue that. And he just got so involved in it that like he lost track of the real world and like got chopped. But he also explicitly says he hated his physical form. So there's also another argument for him doing it on purpose. All that in mind,